Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today for Tuesday morning, Hall of Fame Day, April 6, 2021. I'm the man they call Meathead, joined on every Tuesday morning by Linda Kay. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Meathead. We are just inching our way to the biggest event of the year.
Yeah, we are. And today is Hall of Fame Day. The Hall of Fame is later on today. And even though it's a pre-tape, it's definitely must-see TV. Let's talk about our sponsors before we get into reviewing Raw from last night, and then we'll talk about the Hall of Fame and a little bit of WrestleMania news as well. First off, our friend, Dave the Zohan Hero. Again, Linda, when you're down in Tampa, I want you to remind him that he has a new nickname. He is the Zohan. David the Zohan Hero. He wants you to be silky smooth, drinking your fuzzy bubble and having, what's the thing that they eat as well? Hummus. Yeah. And drinking the fuzzy bubble, be silky smooth. Yeah, I make you silky. All right. So, but Dave the Zohan Hero would love you to go to manscaped.com, use your promo code PWR, save yourself 20%. Because when you're coming down to WrestleMania this week, it's warm outside. You're going to want to take some of your clothes off and enjoy the sun. We don't need your fuzzy bubble showing out of your bikini trunks. You know what I'm talking about?
Banana hammock?
Your banana hammock. Yeah, exactly. A fuzzy bubble hanging out of your banana hammock. Try saying that 5 times. PWR is the promo code for manscaped.com. And then Collar and Elbow, they've got to have beachwear, I think, ready to go. Linda's going to let us know about it this week. PWR 360 will save you the 10% at collarandelbowbrand.com while everybody's down at WrestleMania. Linda Kay, Raw last night had a different feel to it. First off, I try not to read on the internet unless it's that day of things that I'm trying to do and talk about and, being a broadcast journalist that I am. But boy, that had a taped feel, didn't it?
I mean, as a go-home show, we do expect movement.
Right.
To our main
Wait, like
show.
George Costanza? That kind of movement?
Yes.
I think it moved.
But, whether or not it was, there's definitely progression toward, WrestleMania and just a little more fuel to the fire, if you will, for some of the matches.
Yeah. Speaking of fire, Kane inducted into the Hall of Fame today. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But it was a pre-tape for a go home to WrestleMania, but it wasn't as bad as a pre-tape could have been, but it wasn't exciting to me at all. Let's talk about what happened on Raw last night. First off, it opens up with a war of words. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this. No, you're not going to take that. And that's really how it felt to me. I didn't feel any extra stink to put into the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or extra urgency.
Right, extra urgency.
Well, we had Corbin come out then, and now, again, we know or knew what Corbin's purpose was, and that was taking that bounty and trying to take out.
Wait, did you say he had a special purpose?
Yes.
I have a special purpose. That's a reference, folks, to The Jerk from 1980, Steve Martin. Please look it up. Xavier Woods defeats AJ Styles, and Xavier Woods of the New Day will be defending their tag team championships along with Kofi Kingston against the team of AJ Styles and almost to make his wrestling debut at WrestleMania. Xavier Woods and AJ Styles. You know what I found entertaining about this? And it had nothing to do with the match. It was Kofi and Xavier standing up in the Thunderdome behind the LED boards. That was entertaining to me.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if Francesca 2.0 broke. It appeared that the trombone had some issues, and I thought that was why they hopped over without it. But
I had a faulty trombone once. That was a really bad weekend. Thank you.
But yeah, Byron Saxon did talk about seeing some footage of Omos training, and while this being his WWE match debut, doesn't mean he's not his actual wrestling match debut, but I expect some great things from Omos.
Okay. The guy's got a lot of size. You can't teach size.
Yep.
Braun Strowman defeats Elias and Jackson Riker. Having watched some Impact replays, and I spent like 20 minutes watching Joker Sting highlights on YouTube because I was just bored and I wanted to see what it was like to be Joker Sting. I miss Jackson Riker / what was his name in TNA again? Gunner. I miss Gunner being the guy blowing through people. This, while he's on TV and he's working, I don't know what this is.
Well, I know it's going to be a cage match at WrestleMania, but gotta believe that Jackson Riker and Elias will still, I think, have a part in that match. That they're going to find their way in or help Shane try to escape.
Put some weapons through a hole in a cage where the camera's supposed to go.
Yeah. This whole thing with Shane and Braun Strowman, I guess it could have been done without Elias and Jackson Riker, but hey, it's a way to get
maybe it's taking some of the sting off of Shane calling him dum dum Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? To your point though, you did ask or bring up about Jackson Riker missing Gunner.
Right.
Perhaps this is just leading to him possibly getting some more mic time. We really haven't heard much since his return, really.
Right. And out of the three of the forgotten sons, out of those 3 forgotten sons, he's the one that still has a job.
Right.
So it was going to be a contract signing between Asuka and Rhea Ripley, but it turns into a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Excuse me, it wasn't a championship match, but it was Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeating Asuka and Rhea Ripley. Now, Rhea Ripley goes after Asuka while on the turnbuckle, paving the way for Asuka to be pinned by the Queen of Spades. Maybe there's finally a little bit of steam in Asuka Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, it's definitely appearing for Rhea to be the heel of this match. We kind of talked about Sasha and Bianca Belair. Is Bianca gonna be the more dominant heel, or just that's kind of like two faces? But I think this is nice, making one of the two for the Raw title between Rhea and Asuka being more of the bad gal, and we got it. That was a brutal push from
bad gal. I like it.
Yeah. Hashtag bad gal.
Hashtag bad
gal. Shirt idea.
That's a t-shirt idea.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah, and I repeated it to kind of lay it in there. That's a t-shirt idea. I'd wear that. Hashtag bad gal.
That could be mine.
There you go. Hey, let's talk about Bobby Lashley and Cedric Alexander. The implosion of the Hurt Business, I thought, was done. It's still imploding. And now we had Bobby Lashley defeating Cedric Alexander with interference from Shelton Benjamin. I know that they're making Bobby look strong, 6 days or 5 days before the match, but did it have to be at the expense of Shelton and Cedric?
It started last week, so gotta keep rolling with it. Hey, at least they got their close up with MVP backstage, kind of threatening.
Oh yeah,
giving him the words.
Cripple ass. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
hey, backstage, we also had something else happen to a Bugatti. A Bad Bunny Bugatti.
In a new Bugatti.
Yeah, a Bad Bunny Bugatti. I feel like that should be a topping on a pizza. Bad Bunny Bugatti. Your boys, Miz and Morrison, painting "Hey Hey Ho Ho." Now, I know that they're not painting real paint on a Bugatti. That was water-based paint that's going to rinse right off, right?
Yeah.
But
I thought the same.
It looked pretty runny to me, but it was still funny. And then Miz on the side door, or on the driver's door, painting the Bad Bunny logo, the bunny with the 2 X's on the eyes.
He just said runny, funny, and Bad Bunny.
Right, Bugatti.
Yes.
This leads to the Miz and Morrison now being a tag team against Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Thank God that Damian Priest is going to be on WrestleMania. I think this is absolutely proper. I love the change to the match. And we got some good stuff. Bad Bunny on the mic a little bit longer than I thought he ever should have been, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, it was nice to finally see some fire. It was nice to see the sunglasses off, to really see that raw emotion. And I'm glad that they made this a tag team match. That's kind of what we were expecting this whole time. It's definitely going to make the match more exciting. Damian Priest definitely, I'm sure, helping train Bad Bunny and I think we're gonna be surprised at what Bad Bunny can do on Saturday.
Yeah, he'll get some spots, and they'll put him over, regardless of win or loss. He'll get some spots. Yeah. Matt Riddle defeats Mustafa Ali with Sheamus at commentary. Riddle and Sheamus will have a United States Championship match at WrestleMania. Thoughts on Riddle winning with the Bro Derek? I love that move. Not the move, the name, the Bro Derek.
Yeah, I think this will also be a good match. I'm unsure, I think, of who will come up on top after the match, but if my boy Sheamus does, that's some extra points for Team Long Time. Just saying.
And then finally, this was a match that was set up on SmackDown, or it was set up last week, wasn't it? Yeah, it was set up last week with the interference by King Corbin. King Corbin trying to get the bounty paper towel on Drew McIntyre, courtesy of MVP. King Corbin loses to Drew McIntyre. Now, I like how MVP at the end came up and said, look, it's not about winning. It's about taking him out. Use the cane.
Mm-hmm.
But a big swing and a miss. The Claymore and the 1, 2, 3 for the soon-to-be 3-time champion, Drew McIntyre.
Maybe not, though. Maybe not.
Because here comes the Almighty at the top of the stage as they have the stare down.
Yeah. I was thinking for that being the ending, I was hoping for at least a break apart or some
pull apart, yeah.
Type of pull apart, yeah. Some type of physicality between the two of them. But
they're doing the no touch thing, which is you want to, because really the only match they had, right, was the cash in. Did they have a rematch the next night? I don't remember.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't want.
He wasn't. Remember, that was when McIntyre wasn't even on, and we thought
that was Miz getting his match over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Scott is anxiously awaiting.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, and again, they haven't touched since last year because remember, Lashley wasn't number one contender last April or last May or whenever it was, and just faded into the background. So that was Raw last night. Again, the reason that Raw seemed taped, because it probably was taped, because folks, they got to get GTFO out of the Tropicana field. The Ray's got to be coming home this week, I would assume, for opening day. So, and to those that ask why I'm talking baseball during a wrestling podcast, that's because wrestling right now is intertwined with baseball. Do you know, for years, Linda, I would always go back to back. If I didn't go to WrestleMania with Damian, I would go to opening day the next day, and they usually were on the same weekend as the NCAA championship.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's a huge weekend. Obviously, last night we had the NCAA championships. Saturday we had the semifinals. Sunday, is normally where WrestleMania was. And then opening day was almost always that Monday. On the same day as the NCAAs.
Meathead, I've left said city and flown right to opening day.
I've done that, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I, like the Facebook memories that pop up. So I see those and I'm like, how did I do that? Let's hop on a 6 a.m. flight right after a WrestleMania.
Right, exactly. And then you just partying your tail off at Miller Park in the parking lot.
Pretty much.
I had a stretch of, I want to say 15 opening days somewhere, like my late teens through my late 20s of just going every year. I was at somebody's party or we had a party or I was doing something at opening day every year. So that was Raw last night. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame that's coming up a little bit later today. Again, probably taped. There's nobody presenting. The speeches are probably going to be a little bit shorter. But you know what? That's COVID. They're going to induct the 2020 class and the 2021 class. Let's talk about who's going to be in that class. I'm excited for it, to be honest with you. I want to see what they do and how they do it. Can they make it entertaining television is really what I'm looking for. Now, the 2020 class is going to be JBL. Your thoughts on JBL going into the Hall of Fame?
Well deserved. Definitely put in many years within the WWE itself and all the various characters and gimmicks he had. And my favorite will always be the APA. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. The card playing,
beer or bar brawling.
Yeah. That was John Bradshaw Layfield pretty much at his most true to himself.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, that was it 24/7 or one of the documentaries about APA with him and Ron Simmons talking. Very interesting. And yeah, just if they could, I know like the speeches will be recorded, but if we could get something where he walks through a door that it's just the border.
Yeah, exactly. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So JBL going to be joining his partner in APA, Ron Simmons, in the WWE Hall of Fame. British Bulldog now in the Hall of Fame. This is the class of 2020. He's a tag team champion. He's part of that legendary Hart family. I mean, obviously he has his own thing, but he is part of the legendary Hart family, married into it, and all. He passed away in May 2002. It's 20 years before he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame. What were we waiting for?
I mean, I wouldn't know behind the scenes, but this is definitely well overdue. I feel a lot of us feel that, but sure. It's about time British Bulldog does get that extra.
Honestly, it was probably the family, and the family just said, it's okay, let's move on. It's an opinion.
Yeah.
Jushin Thunder Liger. For those of you that were big WCW Nitro fans during the rise of the cruiserweights, and big, I believe he was with New Japan World Wrestling or New Japan Wrestling, NJPW. Amazing luchador style wrestler that wrestled all over the world. Glad to see Thunder Liger making it into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, definitely influential, definitely in the lucha scene. And I know you mentioned a lot of his work in WCW, but the Hall of Fame as a whole, just someone's influence to pro wrestling, period, is what we get for a lot of our inductees. And that's sometimes something that some people may not really realize or might overlook. It's just,
Did you know that Thunder Liger only wrestled officially one match in WWE?
Kind of like match. Sting.
No, that's WCW.
No, but when Sting got inducted, and wasn't it just the Triple H match, and then he was in the Hall of Fame the next year?
Well, he wrestled Seth Rollins and then got hurt.
Okay, a couple matches, but
yeah, but I mean, still. Thunder Liger only had one match, and it was the opening match on NXT TakeOver Brooklyn in 2015.
Well,
the NWO.
New
World Order. Yeah. This is what, I had turned away from wrestling for a little bit in the early to mid 90s. I was gone. I left. I didn't watch, didn't care. It just was too cartoony for me. And then all of a sudden, Hollywood Hogan turned on WCW. Oh, Hollywood Hogan's a bad guy? Oh. Who's this Kevin Nash and Scott Hall? Oh, that was that Big Daddy Cool and Razor Ramon. Oh, okay. And that is it. That's how I got here today, folks. Was the beginning of the NWO. Linda, best moment with NWO?
I would say their big debut in WWE at No Way Out,
which we were at.
Yes, I still see that footage popping up on WWE's Facebook or Twitter or whatnot, and I watch it. I put it on replay a couple of times. I'm just like, gosh, what a pop, and the crowd response, and just I missed that entrance, and just
where were you sitting at?
Feeling 3 rows. I was gonna say one corner near the ring post. I just remember, unless I'm mixing up pay-per-views, I just remember that I was hit by some of Triple H's water that gets spitted out.
So you're on the hard camera side?
Yes, because I would have been. Yep.
I thank you, Cousin Jack, by the way, because again, we don't thank Cousin Jack enough here. Yes. But thank you, Cousin Jack. I wanted good seats, and I paid a nice price for these seats. I was ramp side, so I was over on the ramp, just behind the souvenir chairs.
Ooh.
So
there's the big truck.
Yeah.
And the backdrop and.
It's funny though, being live, they weren't always in black and white. It was color the whole time. Huh.
Why not?
But New World Order. Finally, with the class of 2020 in the wrestling side, the Bellas, both the Bellas, the tag team, the women have made it to the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and when this was announced last year, I know it was welcomed by some, booed by some as well. But again, just the influence as a whole, whether they were or not that accepted as wrestlers as a whole, and what they've done to help put WWE further on the map.
Yeah.
Just their work on
just because they didn't do it in the ring the whole time doesn't mean they didn't put WWE in a map. Because what they did was they were the escort, they were the valet for how many years? Then the Total Divas and the Total Bellas and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they started with that Diva Search.
Yep.
Twin Magic, made it all the way through to being stars in reality TV and just welcoming a much wider audience and more women to the product as well. Absolutely. And now into the Hall of Fame. You know, good for them.
Let's talk about the celebrity version of the class of 2020. William Shatner from Star Trek, from T.J. Hooker, and the man who basically sang his own versions to songs in the early 70s that were so bad they were good, and then came on as a guest host, general manager on Raw, and sang Sexy Boy in the monotone. I'm just your sexy boy. I'm not a boy toy. William Shatner, 90 years old, by the way.
Wow. Yeah, let's not forget, I'm host of Rescue 911.
Yes, Rescue 911. I keep thinking Reno 911, but yes, Rescue 911.
Look it up.
Shatner's awesome.
Yeah. Just a pop culture pop culture phenomenon. Is that the right word?
Yeah, absolutely. I loved him in what was the movie with Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro where they were playing Top Cop or something like that, where they were a TV show with Rene Russo. They brought in William Shatner as the acting coach to teach them how to roll across the hood.
I'm not sure. I'm just thinking Beverly Hills Cop, but I know it's not it.
No. But it's trust me, you got to search for it. Let's talk class of 2021. One of my favorite female wrestlers from the WCW, and she came over and became a superhero in WWE, Molly Holly.
Yes.
Miss Madness 2000.
Yes. You know, when she was told through our friend Shane Helms.
Yes.
And Molly Holly, also a super friend. Him getting emotional and her getting emotional. I loved that moment. Definitely well deserving, and her, the response she got from her peers as well. Definitely influential with the women's division, the Divas division back then, and very happy for Molly Holly.
Quick note here, during Beth Phoenix's Hall of Fame induction speech in 2017, the Glamazon revealed that Holly not only inspired her to start wrestling, but helped make her dream come true. That's something else. Next member of the 2021 class, he's back and better than ever. Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff, is in the Hall of Fame.
I'm back.
I can still recall that it literally was talking to the Zohan, David Hero. Sent him a message. Hey, did you know that Eric Bischoff's on? He's to say, what? All right, I gotta go.
Yes, I heard you telling that story to Matthew when Bischoff was announced for the Hall of Fame. That was definitely one of the most memorable moments ever on Monday Night Raw.
Wow. The Big Red Machine, Kane, is also in. And this is something that is well deserving. You know, Kane was the fake Diesel, Isaac Yankem as well. And now Kane, on his own merits, with his own character, debuted in Bad Blood 97. That's gotta be Kane. Yeah. Oh, Jim Ross. So fantastic. Team Hell No. I mean, all the stuff he's done. Matter of fact, Kane, think about Kane and the different tag team reigns that he's had. He's had a tag team reign with our friend Shane Helms, right?
Yep. X-Pac.
RVD. Let's see, who else was there? And then obviously Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Undertaker.
Brothers of Destruction. I was just going to say the championship stuff, but yeah, and who knew that he'd be quite a funny guy as well.
Right. Oh, his comedy chops are awesome. Let's talk about a guy that actually is pretty funny, with the language barriers sometimes got in the way. The Great Khali. I love the Great Khali. And matter of fact, my favorite line from what's the Adam Sandler movie that was Burt Reynolds' movie, The Longest Yard? Oh, good. Now I don't have to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, again with Great Khali, I mean, just going off what I saw on Twitter and whatnot, we had some yays and some nays, but again, the influence he had and just his influence in wrestling in India and what helped WWE and India build and grow that relationship.
Yeah, he's out there training
volumes. Yeah.
So we talked about No Way Out, right? 2002 in Milwaukee. Did I ever tell you that I was such a terrible broadcast journalist at the time? Not that I'm any good now, but do you know I had an interview with Rob Van Dam that afternoon before the show?
No. Is this
I did a terrible
at the Bradley
job
Center?
No. It was he was signing autographs at Potawatomi.
Oh, okay.
And all I had was a tape recorder. I didn't even have a camera with me.
Hey, I remember my first internship and having to get my tape recorder from good old Radio Shack. So I remember that, you didn't have a mic that you got to stick into athletes or faces for your sound bites or the post game sound bites. You had to stick a tape recorder into the face.
Yeah, now it's just cell phones. They're just recording on iPhones. The Titus O'Neil, maybe they will name it after him one day, but the Warrior Award going to Titus O'Neil this year with all the great work that he does. Just being leading a life of courage and compassion with everything he does. Happy to see Titus O'Neil winning the Warrior Award. Just recently announced, I think it was yesterday, the celebrity going into the WWE Hall of Fame for 2021. Let's get crazy! It's Ozzy Osbourne. How cool is that?
Yeah. Love Ozzy. I said this offline to you that I was looking at that Hall of Fame graphic from afar, not realizing at the time that Ozzy was necked in. And I was like, wait, I just put my eyes, like, who was that? And then he had to tell me, and then we went over his historic moments within WWE that maybe, I needed to be reminded of, such as
WrestleMania
2. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's one more bit of news here, and we'll take it from Ozzy and we'll segue into music. Ash Costello is going to be performing the Rhea Ripley theme. Rhea Ripley will get played in. I still to this day, and they have a chance this year, and they're not going to do it. Linda, I've said this to you off air, on air. Can we not get Alter Bridge together and play in the Rated R Superstar?
I know.
I will seriously pop for that. That would be amazing. But trust me, I'm going to enjoy Ash Costello playing in Rhea Ripley.
Right. Oh, what a quick moment. Sorry, I know you and I touched on this last week when Rob Van Dam got announced for the Hall of Fame, but let's not forget RVD, class of 2021 as well.
Oh, yeah. Did I not mention RVD?
We talked about RVD,
the terrible interview.
But...
Yeah.
Yeah. We just forgot to mention that he's
in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, yeah, what a jerk.
Somehow talked about Radio Shack out of that, but yes, RVD as well.
Yeah. We have another musical performance going on now. Linda, I had the name in front of me. Who's singing America the Beautiful for WrestleMania?
BB Rexa.
I swear to God, when I saw that name, I thought it was Cash Me Outside Girl.
Oh, that's Bad Baby.
Oh, no. Trust me, I'd rather listen to Bad Bunny. I don't know what that is, but I pass.
Yes.
Oof. Well, hey.
BB Rexa.
Yeah, BB Rexa. Okay.
Yes.
Can she sing?
Yes.
Can Cash Me Outside sing?
She raps more, but...
Does she sing with auto-tune?
I honestly don't know. I just know that Bad Baby is spelled not like what it is.
I hope she doesn't show up in a Bad Bunny Bugatti.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that it's not getting ideas of adding her on to WrestleMania.
Oh, man. Come on now. All right, that's it. Let's talk about we talked about the Hall of Fame. We're good to go. Tomorrow, we've got even more stuff to talk about. This is WrestleMania week, so we've got a lot going on. We're going to review everything that happened at the Hall of Fame, any kind of surprises. We're going to talk about Impact. We're going to preview TakeOver, Stand and Deliver for night 1. Again, tomorrow, Wednesday morning, we've got TakeOver Stand and Deliver coming up. So we've got that, and we've got AEW Dynamite coming up as well. We've got a lot of stuff going on here, Linda Kay. So we're going to have Matthew Thomas in tomorrow. Thursday morning, it'll be Matthew. And then Friday morning, I believe, Linda, you're going to join Matthew and I for a WrestleMania preview.
Yes.
Wow. I'm going to have to keep rested, get some lemon tea or something here.
This is historic because it'll be the first time the three of us will be on PW today at the same time.
Well, that's amazing. Hashtag amazeballs.
Hashtag bad gal right here.
Hashtag bad gal. I'd wear that. All right. For Linda Kay on the Manly Call Media, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.